Today is the 20th of June 2016. I'm in Geneva at the United Nations for the 32nd session of the Human Rights Council. After returning from the UNDPI conference in Gyeongju, I started my internship for 1 week from the 20th until the 26th of June. This week will be full of new opportunities to advocate the ideas of the Women's Federation for World Peace International and to meet many different influential and important people. But most of all, I want to share my experiences during this time, letting people know what is going on in the United Nations and what we can do. Also to make people reflective about certain topics and issues in our world is one of my goals. Someone once said, "No one can do everything, but everyone can do something." The first side event I attended was about the empowerment of women and their participation in the parliament. They explained the women's presence in parliaments has become a reality that is positively impacting the social, political, and economic fabric of nations worldwide. Parity in parliament remains central to ensuring fully functional democratic institutions and respect for the human rights of all. During this side event, the panelists discussed the actual impact of female parliamentarians in light of a number of variables that often impede their full and effective participation. At the beginning, Ambassador Kate Harper made the statement that the cornerstone for democracy is the participation of the people, and only 28.2% of women of the whole population are voting and interested in politics. But we need more women, he said, because women support where others oppose. They reject where others accept, and they point out where others overlook. Ann Linninger, U.S. State Representative from Portland, Oregon, convinced the whole audience through her life testimony and her heart for family and children. Through her difficult life experience and hardship she had to go through, she became a strong, independent woman and an important voice for advocating women's rights who have to go through the same struggle as she did. For example, affordable childcare or having no support for maternity leave. She couldn't even care properly for her own babies because of work. It really broke her heart, she said. She emphasized that women and families should be successful in life, and NGOs should develop a platform to empower women, to train them, and to help them participating in politics. To all the young people, and especially girls out there, if you do not know what you want to study, I have an answer for you. Political science, or journalism, or something to become a part of our government, to bring a feminine influence and point of view into our society and policies. Do not follow the stereotype that politics are only for men, and don't be afraid of judgment or criticism. Who else will care about affordable childcare, for example, or paid nursing time, or give an emphasis on education for girls or family rights? Also voting laws like violence against women need to be focused on. Who else would commit himself for that case if not the woman herself? The feminine aspect is still missing too much in our world. We should be more courageous to speak out, but not like men, but like a woman in her own unique way. Anne concluded with an example of her own family. She said that the political participation of women in the office, like herself, is not only good for society, but also good for your own children. It has a great effect on them. For example, her 14-year-old daughter once came up to her and said that people nowadays are going crazy because of the obsession of being beautiful, and because of that they cannot focus on studying math or science. She determined we all should reject the beauty craze and focus on the real important things in life like studying. And her 17-year-old boy gave a great lecture about an important issue in society. Ann Linninger has definitely a good impact on her family. Therefore, I interviewed her shortly after the panel. Okay, so now I'm here with Ann Linninger. She is U.S. State Representative from Portland, Oregon. My question to you is, why is the political participation for women important?
I think having a strong representation of women in government makes sure that we prioritize issues that matter to women and families, and also helps make sure that the people feel like government is legitimate because it reflects their diversity of experience.
Thank you. And how does a family affect the society?
Well, I think that the family is a starting place for all of the good things that can happen in society. So we need to help women, men, and children thrive and have healthy, positive lives.
What can we do to empower women?
I think it's important to help encourage women to run for office. Apparently, women need to be asked and encouraged to run for office more often than men. So every person can encourage the woman that they know to consider running for office, and we need to help them learn the skills to do it and help them raise money and help them develop their message. And there are wonderful groups in Oregon right now, including Emerge and the Oregon Women's Campaign School and Family Forward, that are doing those things, and I would love to share more information with you about those if you would ever like to know more.
Yes, please. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. After my second panel, I went to another side event in room 4. This time it was about youth for environmental peace, with the under headline Youth Speaking Up for Global Changes. And all the panelists were between the age of 20 and 30 years, and everybody was advocating for a different area. Stephanie Carnero advocated for youth for gender equality. Philip Nasser said, experimenting youth leadership is the way. Alexandra Negros talked about the youth involvement in diplomacy for peace building. He said each one of us has an important role and we need to negotiate without violence, which makes sense, because with aggression and violence you will never progress or get a solution for both parties. Angelique Moguet de Giovanni was convinced about the youth acting for active coexistence between different religions and convictions, which is linked to the Sustainable Development Goals, striving for sustainable peace. And Ayman Ben Ali, with whom I agreed the most, said that we shouldn't underestimate the power of media for peace building. Here's a short interview with him. Okay, I'm here now with Ayman Ben Ali. He's leader of the Youth Media Committee at Youth Ambassadors. I have a question to you. What is the role of media?
Je pense que les médias ont un rôle à jouer dans la construction de la paix. Ils ne peuvent pas rester neutres face à une situation de conflit puisque leur présence dans une zone de guerre modifie l'environnement. Et donc, ils deviennent eux-mêmes les acteurs de ce conflit. Et le journalisme de paix est l'alternative responsable qui assure un processus positif de guérison en favorisant le dialogue. Voilà.
Merci beaucoup.
De rien.
After that, I met Roswitha Grass, who is really an inspiration for young people. And she worked for a long time for the UN. She met Nelson Mandela and the Dalai Lama in person, and she shared how much she learned from those wise people. Here are a few words from this amazing woman. Roswitha, what is your message for young people and for...
Yeah, for all the people in all the world, I'm actually giving the message of hope. The whole world is in transformation, and we are now experiencing the birth pain of a new civilization. That means we are going to have peace, and this is a very crucial moment now. I met also Nelson Mandela on the Sustainable Summit in Johannesburg, and he had the experience of Maitreya, the world teacher, who appeared in his cell after 27 years of jail. And he was also inspired by Maitreya to forgive and to forget the past and to advance. Because if we forgive, we liberate ourselves from the old energies. Nothing to do with the people we forgive, but we free ourselves. So people should understand, and actually that's what we are also doing, to raise awareness, to know who we are. Where do we come from? Where are we going? Why are we here? And here to serve humanity, not to make war and kill each other.
Thank you very much.
You're most welcome.
After we talked, I told her I would try to bring positive messages to society through the media. The media is misused in many ways and is a great instrument to influence others. If we want to see a change in this world, we first of all need to remind ourselves that it starts with me and how I am getting influenced by my surrounding. Either it's good or bad. It is up to myself. For example, what do I watch or listen to or unconsciously receive through the television? Do I focus on the positive and good messages? There's a lot of progress going on in our world, but no one really knows about them or is aware of it. Why? Because we like to hear the negative things and bad news around us, so we can gossip and spread rumors around. We like negative media and negative news, don't we? But let's focus on the bright side in the world. There's so much to share. Yes, we shouldn't close our eyes in front of cruel facts or a terrible reality and have to restrict those who are doing wrong so that impunity isn't tolerated. We definitely need to be aware of it and shouldn't ignore them. But finally, in order to fight conflicts and problems, we need to make the good stronger and look at the bright side of situations so we can bring hope to the people in society and finally the world. Every day we should have the attitude that I will learn from the past mistakes and move on. Tomorrow is another day, a new start with new opportunities to make it better. I thank you for listening and watching this video, and I hope that you could gain something from my report. This was Nicole Thurner from Germany.